Awards Group number 8, Valor honorees. From the Jefferson Township Police Department, Chief Sean Conrad and Patrolman Matthew Saporito. From the Morris County Office of Emergency Management, Special Operations Group, Commander Jeffrey S. Paul. And the Morris County Sheriff's Emergency Response Team, or CERT, Corporal Matthew Salerso. Please come up to the stage. At 11:23 p.m. on July 14, 2019, the Morris County Communications Center received a 911 call reporting that a man was shot multiple times and was inside a house on Mirror Place in Jefferson Township. The Jefferson Township Police Department requested response from the Morris County Sheriff's Emergency Response Team and the Morris County Office of Emergency Management Special Operations Group, or SOG, to the reported shooting, homicide, and possible barricaded gunman in a residence with 2 young children and a victim who was shot multiple times, laying wounded and bleeding inside. Jefferson Township Police were notified that Morris County Communications had a shooting victim on the 911 call. Public safety operators spoke with the victim, who told them that 2 young children were in another bedroom in the house. The victim reported being shot multiple times, and given the extent of his injuries, he could not move to exit the house or ascertain the safety of the children. One of the gunshots was to his thigh, and he was bleeding profusely. Dispatchers also are sometimes emergency medical dispatchers and emergency medical technicians. And I have to say that they provide a level of comfort and a lot of professionalism and a lot of information to these officers who were responding on this call. And certainly my hat's off to all of them. These operators provided bleeding control instructions to the man until he could be rescued by law enforcement. They provided critical information to responding Jefferson Township police officers and CERT officers that allowed the officers to make critical and quick tactical decisions at the scene. Upon the arrival of Corporal Matthew Salerso of the Morris County Sheriff's Emergency Response Team, he's a team leader, and Morris County Office of Emergency Management SOG Commander Jeffrey Paul, they're advised that a female shooting victim was deceased outside one of the nearby homes. According to the on-scene briefing, the team was advised that the shooter's current whereabouts were unknown and it was possible the shooter was still inside the residence. In addition, it was reported that 2 children, both under the age of 10, were still in a bedroom, along with a second male shooting victim, who was reportedly shot multiple times and was lying on the floor in the residence bleeding, in need of immediate life-saving aid. Based on the exigency of the situation, an emergency assault plan for hostage rescue was developed and immediately implemented. A determination was made that the primary assault would be made into the residence to rescue the children and provide immediate life-saving aid to the wounded victim. Corporal Salerso, Commander Paul, Chief Conrad, and Patrolman Saporito made entry to the residence. Fortunately, the children were physically unharmed and were immediately rescued. Additional CERT officers, including members of the Jefferson Township Police Department, continued to search and clear the home for the alleged shooter. Simultaneously, Commander Paul immediately provided life-saving aid and treatment to the wounded man. He was quickly joined by Detective Sergeant Chrissy Kovach, a member of the Special Operations Group, and Morris County Park Police Officer Christian DiGirolamo, a member of the Morris County Sheriff's Emergency Response Team. All 3 worked together to stop all life-threatening bleeding from critical wounds and took care of all necessary medical interventions that needed to be performed before the patient could be removed from the residence to the hospital. Ultimately, the SOG team, along with certain members in the Jefferson Township Police, carried the male victim out of the residence through the Jefferson Rescue Squad ambulance that was waiting nearby, and St. Clair's hospital paramedics on board. The man was promptly transported to the Morristown Medical Center Level 1 Trauma Unit with OEM SOG on board assisting with the medical care. The Morris County Sheriff's Emergency Response Team is a team of highly trained, integrated officers from the Morris County Sheriff's Office, the Morris County Park Police, and many Morris County Municipal Police Departments, in partnership with the Morris County Chiefs of Police Association, that respond to emergencies and incidents where lives are imperiled. The Morris County Office of Emergency Management Special Operations Group, or SOG, is a joint partnership between the Morris County Sheriff's Office, the Morris County Chiefs of Police Association, St. Clair's Health, Atlantic Health System, and the Office of Emergency Management. They're a highly trained group of medical professionals that train specifically for these types of incidents. That SOG team is embedded with our CERT team, or SWAT team, on all deployments to provide immediate medical integration and life-saving action. Years of high-level coordinated training between county law enforcement agencies, CERT and SOG, were demonstrated during this incident with a seamless integration of both tactical operations, rescue efforts, and life-saving medical interventions, all of which occurred simultaneous with the Jefferson Township Police Department. Without question, Corporal Matthew Salerso, SOG Commander Jeffrey Paul, Chief Sean Conrad, and Patrolman Matthew Saporito put themselves at great risk by entering the residence knowing that they could have encountered the gunman and possibly have engaged in a firefight. Knowing that risk, they bravely entered with a focus and coordinated plan to save the children and provide life-saving aid to the victim. They all displayed extraordinary courage, which went well above the call of duty. For that, we owe them a great deal of gratitude. The 200 Club of Morris County hereby awards the coveted Valor Award to Jefferson Township Police Chief Sean Conrad and Patrolman Matthew Saporito. From the Morris County Office of Emergency Management Special Operations Group, Commander Jeffrey S. Paul. And the Morris County Sheriff's Emergency Response Team, or CERT, Corporal Matthew Salerso. Congratulations.